I know I always forget that part. So, and you guys, we're going to do this training a little bit differently because I can talk all day long about the objections that I get and how I overcome them. So what we're going to cover tonight, for those of you guys that don't know me, my name is Tara Neff. I'm direct to Stephanie, and we are doing these team trainings just as a group thing, because I think it's important to hear from different people. Like Tammy's trainings are always amazing. I know that Megan has done some for us, Ryan has done some, just everybody that has stepped up to do them. It's really great training because you're getting a different perspective from people that are building and growing in a different way. And so what I'm going to be covering tonight is overcoming objections, and we're going to talk about closing. I also want to touch on the product pack bonuses. In fact, thank you to Ryan for all of this, because she was the one that said, hey, can you hop in and talk about this stuff and make sure you mention this too. So I want to go ahead, and I'm not taking credit for any of that. All of the stuff is great information. She was the one that said that it needed to be brought. So the way that I want to talk about the overcoming objections, though, I want you to tell me what the objections are that you see, and I'm going to tell you how I have overcome them. And if I don't see them, if I have not come across that as an objection, I'm going to, perfect. So Tammy, they're popping up so fast. I'm not going to be able to see. So they Googled it, and I was actually talking about the products. But Candace, I think, said something about someone not joining her team. Okay. Wow. You guys, they're coming fast and furious.
You want me to just read them off to you so you don't have to deal with scrolling?
If you can do like one at a time.
Sure.
So I'm going to touch on Googling it first. So normally by the time that somebody will, just because that's the one I wrote down. So I know that Candace had popped in with a couple before that. But when somebody tells me that they Googled it, I will be absolutely honest with you. My first thought is, oh my gosh, no, you've got to listen to me, not what you see on Google. The second thought is, being totally transparent here, I get really angry at the people that trumped all that stuff up from a couple of years ago, because we all know what these products do for people and how they help people. And the fact that there are people that need what we have to offer and they're scared to use it just makes me angry, because it was during a time, and I don't know if you guys have heard like the doctors talk about it, but it was something that was shared with me recently. They're like, something that wasn't addressed was that was during the height of the keto craze. And when you do the keto diet, you will lose hair. And so it's all of these things. We saw the screenshots from those groups where somebody had to cut gum out of her daughter's hair, and they were like, hey, post that Monate made her hair fall out. Somebody, y'all, I'm not even making this up. Somebody shaved one of their eyebrows and posted it like Monate had, like they shampooed with like half their head and made their, I'm not even making that up, like made their eyebrow fall out. So it just makes me mad. And so what I generally will do when somebody's like, hey, I Googled it and this was what I'm seeing, I do a voice message. I will always do voice messages unless my kids are screaming, and then I explain, or I take a break and come back to it when I can, because you can, just like with this training, like you show up and you're seeing somebody. That's why we do the video and why I'm on my phone instead of my computer, because my camera wasn't working on my computer again. But it's really important when people can hear you. If you can get on a Zoom call with somebody, do, but at the very least do a voice message. But I will tell people, the information that you're seeing is from 3 or 4 years ago. It has been debunked. There are, things that are ongoing, because nothing moves through a court quickly, as we're all seeing right now with everything that's going on right now. But nothing moves through a court quickly. And so there's stuff that still looks like it's active, but it's stuff that was from 3 or 4 years ago from a group of people who literally said that they were going to take down our company. And so I don't go into a ton of details, but basically I'll say, it's from 3 or 4 years ago. It's from people that there were trumped up charges. There are going to be people that can't use the products, but if you don't in general have allergies to products, you're not going to have allergies to these either. We can test, you can do the elbow test on the inside of your elbow. But really what it comes down to is, you've seen my results. I've shared, and I will always have shared pictures in the chat. I've shared pictures with you of people who have actually used these products and the results that they're seeing. And if you don't want to try it, I completely understand. But I will tell you, you've seen what these products do for me. I know that you trust me, and I know that I would never share something with you that would harm you. And really, that's what it comes down to. They're either going to trust you or they're not, period. If it's somebody that you have built a relationship with, the trust factor is going to be huge. So when you go, hey, you know me, you know that I would never share something with my friends or my family or use on myself that would make somebody's hair fall out. And that's the bottom line. So you go into it with posture and with confidence, like, hey, those were bogus charges at the time. And not only were they bogus then, they're now 3 or 4 years old. There's nothing new coming out about all that stuff. It's all just rehashed stories. And to be honest, I don't really get that one as much anymore. There was a time a couple of years ago where it's like you message somebody assuming that they were going to say, hey, I've seen this. And now it's like, it comes up and it's like, oh man, it's popped up, but somebody has said something again about it. So that's really what I do with that one. What was the next one?
How about, I don't have the money to do it right now. I'm not
okay.
Table.
That one I think is really important because there aren't very many people, especially in today's society with what has happened this year, that have a ton of extra money laying around. But if you don't do something, and this is literally what I say to people, I completely understand. I was in the same boat when I got started, didn't know how I was going to come up with the money, but I knew that if I didn't find a way to do it, that I was going to be in that same position a year from now and 2 years from now. So, let me show you how I did it and how other people did it to come up with the money. Literally, you guys, there are people that hold garage sales. There are people that go on Facebook Marketplace and sell things in order to be able to come up with the money to start their business, because they see this for what it is. They know that, you can share your success with them. If you have not seen major success, share the success of somebody else. Hey, there's somebody on the team that reminds me of you, and this is what she's done with her business. I would love to show you how, so that a year from now, you have $300 to be able to spend on yourself without even batting an eye. And that's what it comes down to. Again, just posture going into it that way.
That's great. That's awesome. It is. It all comes back to that confidence and posture. Whether you have it or not, you've got to make it to get to those objections. Okay. How about being blocked or ghosted, like when people don't respond to you?
That used to bother me a lot. And then I realized the only people that know that they ghosted me are them and me. So it was like this thing where it weighed on me so much. Like I felt like everybody could tell that I had messaged somebody, that they knew that I knew that they had seen the message and that they hadn't gotten back. And then I was like, you know what? Not only does it not matter that they didn't respond. And first of all, it's our job to help people see, because they don't know what they don't know. So when you're reaching out to somebody about the business, you know that you're offering them the potential for life-changing money. They just might think that you are a friend reaching out to them who they don't understand what we do and how we do it. They don't understand. Some people will go, well, you just want to make money off of me. I don't want to make money off of you. I want to help you make money, and we're going to make money together. So that's the part that I think can trip people up. But really now when people ghost me, I'm like, okay, I don't necessarily take them off of my list, because sometimes I ghost people, not on purpose, thinking that I've responded. And sometimes I'll pull up Facebook Messenger and I go to message somebody back, and there's literally a message sitting there that I haven't hit send. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they probably think I'm this terrible person. But also, when somebody has ghosted me, I don't want to do business with somebody like that, because chances are their network knows them as somebody who doesn't return messages, who doesn't show up, and you are paid back or not, paid back in a good way or in a bad way, based on how you've treated people in the past when you start your business. So if it's somebody that is going to ghost me when I'm just saying, hey, I see that you could have potential with this business. What are your thoughts on, taking a look at what I'm doing? If they don't even respond to that, that might not be somebody that I want to do business with anyway. So
that's true. Okay. How about the objection of, I don't know enough people?
So that one, the way that people can look at that is, it doesn't really matter how many people you know. So we talked about this on the training on Saturday. In order to get to Cadillac rank, which is market mentor, which is where the big checks start coming in and momentum picks up on your team, you'll log into your back office and you're adding people and you don't even know where they're coming from, as far as like the number of people on your team is growing. But in order to get to that rank, you need a handful of people join you and 2 people that see it for what it is and they start growing. So if you know 5 people, 7 people, 10 people that you think would be great at this business, then that's great. If you don't, we can train you. So when you have somebody that says, hey, I don't know enough people, just say, hey, we've got people on the team that have said that, and they're now driving white Cadillacs and they were able to retire from corporate America. So I will tell you, I had that same objection, and I now have, actually, we just picked up another new car for me this past week, because I am due for a new one coming up with the motor club. But so you can tell people, hey, I know this person who said the same thing that you did, and now she's had success with the company and is continuing to grow. Really, that's what it is. Hey, I know a lot of the objections you can do that with. I know somebody on the team that reminds me of you. She said the exact same thing, and now here's her story. So facts tell and stories sell. So if you can share somebody else's story, even if it's not yours, share their story, and it's really powerful when you say, hey, this is this person that said exactly what you said, and now here's what they have seen with the company. The other part of that is we all have access to the same Facebook groups. So even if you don't know people face to face in your day-to-day life, we have training on the team page that shows you how to grow your network with Facebook groups and with, getting out there. Tammy Jordan was the one that, you made, and I think that right now with COVID, it's probably not a great thing to be involved with. But what was the business thing? BNI? Was that not what it was? Where she was like, what was that?
It's a networking group.
Yeah, exactly. And there are so many of them, you guys. So if you don't have your network, there are ways to build it. So if you have somebody, and if you are that person where you're like, I just don't know enough people, I don't know how I'm ever going to do this, ask on the team page. This is what I'm seeing with my business. What did you guys do to be successful? You'll have people tell you about BNI. You'll have people tell you about getting involved with your local, Chamber of Commerce, where they do meetings where you can have other business people that you meet up with. The Facebook group training. Amy DeCane has an amazing one that she talks about creating your own Facebook group where you are contributing. Hers is the meal planning, which is really great for people, but there are gardening ones, the health one. There's so many ways that you can use social media to grow your network. So saying, I don't know enough people right now, that's fine. We have ways to show you how to grow your network.
Very good. Okay, this is my all-time favorite. And it's kind of combined with two. And so it might be two objections, but being too busy and not having enough money.
Okay.
I guess enough money to buy a product pack, maybe.
Okay. So that one I did address already, the money one, where you let people know, hey, there are people literally that have put, sold stuff to be able to get it. And you don't ever want to tell somebody to put it on credit, but I mean, let's be honest, we all put stuff on credit. So if you want a way to pay off your credit card balances, find a credit card that you can put it on. And then, we're going to teach you how to make that money back. And that's really what it comes down to. This is a business that they're buying. If they go, I don't want to come up with the 300, the 700, however much whatever product pack they want to buy, they don't see yet what the business can do for them. And that's where you have to come and fill in the blanks for them to show them what the business can do for them, like financially, what the potential is. You don't ever want to give them something overblown, but there is massive money to be made with this company when you are helping other people reach their goals. What was the other part of too busy. I love when people tell me that they're too busy, because and Stacey Gardner, I don't know if she is on, she's probably not, she's probably sleeping because she's international. But she's the one that she is so busy and she's still growing her business. Busy people just get stuff done. And that really is what it comes down to. What I generally will tell people is, I completely understand that you're saying that you're busy. I felt the same way. I didn't think that there was time to do anything else, but I started thinking about the amount of time that I waste scrolling on Facebook. And when I started thinking about how I could make that time work for me and pay me instead of just wasting that time scrolling, then I realized that it was something that I could do, that I did have time for. So if you want me to show you, if I could show you step by step, basically how I do it, if you're open to it, let me know. If not, no big deal. And that really, those words, no matter what their objection is, this is what I can do for you. Let me show you step by step how somebody that had that same objection has done it. And then, if you're open to seeing what we do and open to me sharing, great. If not, no big deal. Does that help with the busy? Really, the busy one is more, I feel more of a I don't know how to do it. So it's more like a fallback where everybody's like, oh, I'm too busy. I don't have time for that. You do have time for it. And that's what it comes to. That actually reminds me of something that one of the original RSMs said. She said, if you can tell me the names of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, I can tell you why your business isn't growing. So if you have time to watch TV, then you have time to work your business. It's just priorities. Do you want to work hard so that in 5 years you don't have to, or do you want to just keep chugging along, trading your life for money, basically?
Exactly.
Trading hours. I mean, it's what it comes down to. So.
Okay. How about this one? I don't want to join a pyramid scheme.
That one kind of, my husband jokes me because like he'll joke that he's like, how's your pyramid scheme going? I'm like, yeah. First of all, you guys, pyramid schemes are illegal. And the first thing that I'll say to somebody when they bring that up, I'm like, do you really think that I would be doing something illegal? Pyramid schemes are in case you don't know what people are thinking when they say that or what that actually is. A pyramid scheme is something where you only make money if you have people join your team. It doesn't even matter if you get customers. So like say that I bought a $10,000, and that's really what people are buying into on those. Say I bought $10,000 worth of product and it's sitting in my garage and I can only make money back if I talk other people into buying $10,000 packs too. So I go to Tammy or I go to Megan and I say, hey guys, here's the deal. This is what you do. You're buying this and then you're getting other people to do the same. That is basically what a pyramid scheme is. It doesn't matter. Basically they don't care about customers. It's just getting distributors to buy their massive product packs. And then you have it all sitting in your garage and they don't care if you sell another thing. With an actual network marketing business, it's social selling. You're using word of mouth advertising. You're using your social network basically to be able to move product. So it's not having product sit in your garage. You are directly compensated by Monate on the amount of product your team moves. If you don't move any product, then you're not going to get compensated at all. If your team moves a lot of product, that's where your compensation goes up. And that's basically what it comes down to. So when people say it's a pyramid scheme, I'm like, nope, those are illegal. This is network marketing. I am not shy about telling people it's multi-level marketing because I mean, that's really why this type of a business is so successful. Because if it was just me working for myself, I probably wouldn't work as hard as I have. But I know that at the beginning, it was, working closely with Stephanie, knowing that she had goals that she was reaching for. And so I needed to reach mine. She was helping me reach mine. And I knew that if I helped enough people reach theirs, then my goals were going to, hit on their own. And that's the multi-level of it. I don't want to work with just myself. I don't want to be in business by myself. I want to be working with other people. So the multi-level, when people say, is it that MLM? Yes, actually it is. I wouldn't do it if it wasn't. I love working with people.
Yeah, that's really good. I love saying that too, because, you're sharing with them. Absolutely. I mean, because then you're excited, you're showing that you're excited about it and you believe in it. And so I think that's always a good way to wrap that one up for sure. This one I get a lot. I've actually had this one like twice this past week. How about I'm not good at sales?
Oh man, I'm not either. The word sales scares me to death. I don't even like to think of myself, Ryan, absolutely. I don't even like to think of what we do as sales because I'm not trying to talk anybody into anything. I'm not sitting there trying to make a commission. I'm not sitting there, essentially what we do is sales, but you're sharing. So if you have ever gone to a restaurant and you're like, oh my gosh, you guys, have you tried that new place on the corner? That essentially is what we do. These products are amazing. And that's why Amy DeCane and I had a conversation not too long ago where she was like, I don't want to tell everybody, hey, this is everything that we have to offer. What are you interested in? It's picking what your favorite products are, being excited about them and sharing about them. So like Ryan shares about different products than I do because she's got curly hair. So I'm not using the same product. So she's going out there and sharing very specific things and she's excited about them. And so when people send the hair quiz, they're not going to be using the same products that she is, but they're excited about using them because of how excited she is about the results that she has seen. The same thing with the wellness stuff, pick a product from the wellness line that you absolutely love and talk about that one. You don't have to talk about the entire line unless it's somebody that you're talking to one-on-one. When you're posting about it, be specific and be excited and passionate about what it is that you're sharing. And I totally forgot what the objection was. Sorry. What was it?
Say I'm not good at sales.
Oh yeah, not good at sales. Sorry. Yeah. So what we do, even though essentially it is sales, you're really just sharing. So you'll hear people say that you're a share person. That's hard to say. It's a lot easier to say salesperson, even though it's not. I still don't feel like I've sold anything to anybody, because if somebody's like, hey, I don't think that I would benefit from this at all, and if I don't think that they would benefit from it, I'm like, hey, you're right. I don't have anything for you. I'm sorry. I mean, you don't ever like not be friends with somebody because they don't buy from you. That's not what life is about. But I have these products that I know people will benefit from, that you get to help people. And, you get what you pay for really with them too. So the money objection, I'm surprised that one hasn't come up, because that usually is the one that people say first. Hey, somebody says they don't have enough money. But really what it is finding a solution for people. So you're not really selling something, as opposed to just helping people and you're really helping them find a solution to a problem that they have. So when somebody tells me they're not good at sales, I usually will say, hey, I don't feel like I've sold anything in the entire almost, how long have we been doing this now? A ridiculous amount of time, and it's still fun. But that really is what it comes down to. You don't have to sit there and make commissions, make your sales. It's just sharing about the products that you love.
Correct. Okay, I'm scrolling through, and I think I've hit on all of them. Some of them were combined. I don't think I've missed any. If I have, y'all can pop it in the chat. But Ryan said she would like to add something.
Perfect. Go ahead.
I just want to piggyback off of everything that you hit on, which, like, you guys, Tara is amazing, if you didn't already know. And tonight, like, that's why I was like, can you please share tonight? Because she's just like, anything I've learned from her. And I still, you guys, will send conversations to her. So I think it's important, like, to have two eyes on conversations. Like, if you get stuck, because even like Tara giving feedback on these, like I was trying to help in the chat, and I'm like, this is too hard to be able to type it. Like, I might be talking to someone I don't know in a conversation, and that conversation is going to go different than someone I've known for 20 years. And so something I was listening to the other day was talking about how with selling, if you have a selling mindset, it's a very surface level. Like, you don't usually know the person, and you're just talking products, and maybe you're sending over pictures, but you really don't know that person. And so we really are more of like, we should be serving these people. And so that's going to just maybe feel uncomfortable at first, but you want to get to know them. And sometimes they just give you an answer because it's just like, maybe there's a financial situation, or like the ghosting. You guys, 9 out of 10 times, and I've done this a lot. Like, I've sampled a lot of people. I've talked to a lot of people. I feel like there's always something else going on in their life. So I never take it personally. So if someone's not responded to you, you guys, after like that second time of following up about products, instead of just being, and believe me, like, I was a queen of this, instead of just being like a robot, like, I had messages where I like just send like 10 messages, like, hey girl, are you ready to order? And, and now I know, like, oh my gosh, what was I thinking? But like, step back as a human and just say, hey, like, are you okay? Like, I just want to make sure everything's okay. Or did you have any questions? And I also will ask girls that send stuff to me, like, I want to see like what led up to that point. Like, if say someone comes to you and they tell you they need help, and you just like send over a cart to them and they see $120, I'm going to tell you right now, like, at first, when Tara reached out to me, I clicked on her website and I was like, girl, like $35 for a bottle of shampoo. And I was buying salon stuff, but guess what? I didn't know like how long those products were going to last. I did not know that they were actually going to help my hair. So the first thing I do, like, before I'm talking price or anything, is I'm showing them value. Like, I'm talking about the naturally based part. I'm showing them a before and after of someone that has their hair type, their problem. So if before you ever send a cart or talk to anyone about prices or options, like, you got to find a problem. And I'm telling you, I think I've only had like, I know I can count on one hand that someone that truly loved everything about their hair, everything about their skin, loved their financial situation. So there's always something that someone does not love, but you're going to have to ask questions or get to know them. So don't be afraid to send those conversations over to a sponsor or a sideline sister, whatever, because something that I wouldn't see, someone else would see, and vice versa. So like, I think that's good to do. Also, a very short read. Like, I literally listened to this book driving to Tara's house. So I'm going to encourage you all to get this on Audible. It's called Exactly What to Say. And it's going to change your mindset, because usually there's something with someone saying no, it's that they usually don't have an answer to something that's like a problem or a situation that they have. So maybe like I was talking about the business and was talking about how much I love the sisterhood and the self-development, but I'm talking to a different personality that's not important to them. They're more want to know like, how am I going to like put food on my table? So it's just a very good book to listen to, especially if you're new, or like I said, I listened to this at my 3-year mark. But just think that you're a problem solver, and that's the big thing. So I always want to know, like, anyone that I talk to, like, what's the problem that they have? And just know that I would keep check marks and however your follow-up method is. But you guys, like, I just like 3 months ago signed up a girl that I sampled 3 years ago, and I literally think when I counted and I put it in my team page, there was 24 follow-ups. So now I probably wouldn't have as many because I would ask more questions, but I'm just saying that it's a learning process. So please don't ever hesitate to reach out and share those conversations, and we'll be able to help. That's all I think.
Yeah. One of the things I want to touch on that she just talked about was the before and after. So when you're talking to somebody, and it's not something that I did at the beginning, but it is something that we train to do now. So you probably have already heard it, but make sure that you're utilizing the before and after pictures. So when you do the hair quiz for somebody and you already know which products that they need and what their hair type is, go into the testimonies pages to find a couple of pictures of people who had their hair type and show what their results are. When you can show somebody what the products do for them, they're very likely to object about anything, because once they can see themselves in the results pictures, that's what they want.
That's right. Yeah, those pictures are very telling, and there's so many to choose from. So it's pretty easy to find something that's going to be specifically for that person.
Yeah. And you can search hair type, you can search a keyword on their answer, or you can search the product that they need, and you'll find those hits.
Tara, I think if you have feedback on Kimberly's situation, this is one that she had yesterday that she sent to me. It says, "I'm not ready for another business, but thanks. Maybe once I get settled after the move, house prep and school and real estate exam in new state." And I just, like, my feedback to her was to just find out, like, is there a pain point? Like, is there anything going, because I think she knows this person pretty well. Yeah. Is there anything going on, like, as far as like, like she's moving to a new location. So my thing was like a community, and then obviously not having income coming in. So those were my two things that I would want to know more about, is like, is community important to her, or financial part?
I wouldn't ask that up front. Depending on, Amy DeCane would probably disagree, because she's like, goes right for it. My response back to that, which is why she's growing as quickly as she is, but my response to that would be, it sounds like you need some me time. What's your new address going to be? And I'm going to send you a spa, something for you to have for a spa day. So it keeps that conversation going. Send her the product so that she can try them. Make sure that you send the mask with, no matter what else you send. The select sampling is really good to send. That you can send an energy stick. Hey, you're gonna be moving. Your stuff is gonna be coming in. Send a couple of energy sticks. Something to give them something to let them know. Hey, I'm thinking about you. I hear you. I heard what you said. I understand that you're saying that you don't need the business, but I want to pamper you a little bit. That would be my next step, and then I would very quickly just follow up on what they thought about the products, and then, hey, something I thought about is you're moving into a new place. You might not have the income coming in. I know you already see the value of this because you've done network marketing in the past. Would you be open to at least hopping on a call, and I can share with you why this is different than what you've done in the past?
Love that.
And then that kind of just segues right into closing, which is what we wanted to talk about. Really what that is touching kind of on what Ryan said about the pain point. You don't want to try to close somebody before you know that you are going to be able to help them. So really it's about those conversations and building up to it. And when you are ready to close, the question literally is just, what are your thoughts on getting started with what I do? You can kind of assume the close in a different way, but usually what I will say, and it comes more naturally with the way that you word it, because you can change it up depending on what the previous conversation has been, but it really is just, hey, what are your thoughts on getting started? And then it's just listening. They might come back with another objection. You answer that. And then, hey, now that this has been answered, what are your thoughts now on getting started? And you're not asking, do you have any other questions? Is there anything else that I haven't covered? You don't want to generate more questions. It's just helping them answer those questions. Don't give them more information than what they've asked for. If they have a specific objection, answer that objection, and then just move on, to really just figuring that pain point. And the wording of it will change. The close is going to be different. I don't know that I've ever had the exact same close with anybody, whether it's product or business or anything. Just, it really is a different thing depending on the conversation that you've had with them. But the best way to say is just, what are your thoughts on getting started with what we've already talked about? Because you will have covered the business. Does that make sense? Because it's really something that is huge in people's heads, and it's really just so simple. Anybody have any questions about that one? It really is that simple. I mean, Tammy, I don't know if you have a different experience with that or how you do it, because generally you will have answered all the questions in the waltz, and then it's just, what are your thoughts on getting started?
Right. Or what is stopping you from joining today, or are you ready? And just kind of like taking that. So the next step would be to, let's choose your product pack and get you signed up, just making that step for them and telling them what to do next, because a lot of times they don't know. So you have to guide them through that. But there is no one way to do a close.
The question that you just said is the one that I usually will use on three-way calls. Is there anything that would stop you? Now that we've answered all of your questions, is there anything that would stop you from getting started right now? And that's a really good one too. And then if they say yes, you address the objection, and then great, now that we've got that out of the way, let's talk about product packs and just assume the sale. You know what you're offering them, you guys. You know that even if they have hesitations, you are offering them the chance at literally life-changing money. It's not cliched to say that, because of what you know that it has done for people that are just like you. So you don't want to let them get in their own way and stop themselves from having the chance that you have at this business too. One of the things that I did want to talk about too, about the product packs, Ryan pointed out that people might not know about them, or it might just need saying. Between now and the 15th, when you have somebody join you with the Essentials product pack, they get the product pack boost. So it's depending on the pack, it's between $120 and $200 worth of product that they get just for free. Just, hey, thanks for joining, along with their product pack. So the Essentials pack, it's the Rejuva beads, the black shampoo, and the blowout cream. And then the larger packs, you add in the Night Haven. That's a huge boost for people. It's literally called the product pack boost, but it's a huge boost for people when they're signing up, because it's products that they're going to need to use. And the more products that they have to be able to share with their network, it's going to be, and not that you are going to be like making your own samples anymore, because we're not supposed to do that. You shouldn't be doing the borrow baskets, although I know some people still are, but really it helps them to be a product of the product. So when they have tried these additional products, and I know that the Night Haven is one that I can sell to just about anybody, because I just share what it has done for me, and they're like, yep, I want it. And if y'all have not tried that one, the scent alone is going to make you want to share it with everybody, because you seriously feel so pampered with that scent and the way it feels. It's just, I mean, it's a luxury product, no matter how you look at it. But those products, for them to be able to have them in their hands and smell them and share them and use them on their social media, is really a boost to their business. So make sure that you are letting people know that this is an additional, hey, thanks for joining us right now, but it only goes through the 15th. So does anybody have any specific questions? I know that we're about 5 minutes over the time, but I just want to address any questions if anybody has any.
There is one more, and I don't know if you want to like address, I mean, I think you could address it quickly, but Megan was asking if you have an MP who is up for renewal and they have fallen off the wagon and they pay or are due to pay their $50 renewal fee, but they don't know how to jump back in, or they're afraid to fail for another year.
Is this a specific person that has said that? Okay. Emily, you and I need to hop
but I
on a
already
call.
have I got a private message from somebody who also has some concerns too. And they're,
I didn't mean like that's me, like that she's talking about me, but I'm in that,
Oh.
I'm the MP with those thoughts. Like I'm with Kim Hare, but I sent her a private message, just kind of what made me say yes again. I don't know if it would help. But I didn't mean it like she's talking about me. She didn't like.
Yeah. No, I figured it was two different people. Yeah. So really what that comes down to is, do you see it? Like, do you see it? Do you just want the discount, or do you see what this business has done for other people, and do you want it for yourself? And do you want it enough to figure out what they did to see success and do what they did? Emily, I know you started off like gangbusters with sharing and doing your events and racking up the VIPs. And so my advice to you would be, sit down and really think about what you did at the beginning when you were seeing that success, and do that again. It really is just a matter of, how badly do you want it? Is it something that you want to let slip away? I know with your personality, I mean, you and I and Kim sat at that Mexican restaurant, and you were so excited about it. Bring that excitement back when you're talking to people, and let that. I miss that restaurant, by the way, that white sauce that they have with the chips. They don't have that down here in Florida, but it's something where you go, what was I doing at the beginning, and what is different than what I'm feeling now? If this business is not fun for you guys, figure out how to make it fun, because this is not something that you are going to want to do if it's not fun for you. So figure it out. Get more involved in the team page. Find some sister lines locally that you can do stuff with. Remember the 80-20, because you want to be working on your business, but it's got to be fun, you guys. Sorry, getting off on a tangent there. It has to be fun. But for people that are like, hey, I don't know if I can do this, it's really casting that vision. There is nothing special about anybody that is seeing success in this business, except that they're showing up for themselves consistently. The thing that Kim shared on Team Believe, that was the list of stuff that we put on the Leaping into Leadership group. If you are doing that stuff daily and really being consistent with doing those things, and not just a day here and a day there, you are going to see success with this business. Emily, you specifically, I would love to get on a phone call with you. Megan, if you have somebody on your team that is feeling the same way, let's get them on a connector call so that we can help cast that vision, because then it falls back into that third party validation, whether they are a market partner already or not. Let's talk to them about practical steps that they can take to see the success that they want to take. Posting on social media, following up, having their list, making sure that they're doing the do, basically. Like, you've got to show up for yourself and your business. You can't just hope. You can't just think about wanting it. You have to actually go out and do the work. This isn't, people will say, oh, it's so easy to do. No, the work is simple, but it's not easy to do. You have to make yourself do it. It's something that you have to show up for. It's a business, you guys. If you just want the $15 for every, VIP that you add, you just post then, because that's what you're going to get. But if you want the white Cadillac, and you want a team that you're working with, and you're helping women reach, and men now, reach their financial goals and really change their families' lives and their financial future, you've got to actually put the work in. And that's really what it comes down to. This business is worth it, but it's a business that you have to work in order for it to work for you. Don't work it like a hobby. It's a business, you guys. It's a big deal.
It is a very big deal. Well, Tara, thank you so much for doing this for us tonight. Those were great objections, and I love your responses to all of them. And guys, I promise the more you do this, the easier it will get. And just a reminder, in your back office in the resource library, they shared this on one of the 7-minute training tips this week, was go in your back office and print out how to handle objections. It's in your resource library. Print that out, and that'll kind of help too until you get familiar and comfortable doing it on your own. So thank y'all so much. If you think of any other ones, reach out to your upline, post them in the team page, because everybody can respond underneath it. Okay. Everybody have a great night. And this is recorded, and it will be posted under the Team Huddle replays. Thanks, Tara.
Sure thing. Bye, guys. See ya.
Good night.
Bye.
Oh.